Welcome back to BD Daily Tech News Podcast, Beyond Daily Tech Show. I'm your host. It's December 10th, 2025, and our promise is simple. Daily insights on technology and innovation without melting your brain. Let's get into it.
And I'm your guest. Today we've got banned AI chips sneaking into China, big tech forming an AI agents Avengers, Instagram letting you peek at its brain, and a new way to make AI actually pay for your content, and why projectors suddenly got cool again. So, just a chill little show.
Structure for today. First, China's DeepSeek reportedly using banned Nvidia chips. Second, new open standards for AI agents. Third, a pay-to-scrape licensing spec for training data. Fourth, Instagram's new recommendation controls. And we'll close on the rise of next-gen projectors and what it means for your living room.
Chips, agents, money, algorithms, and a giant fake TV. If you care about AI, content, or watching sci-fi on a 150-inch wall, stay to the end.
Let's start with China's DeepSeek. A new report says the startup has been training an upcoming AI model using Nvidia data center GPUs that are technically banned for export to China under current U.S. controls.
So basically, the US said no more top-shelf GPUs, and DeepSeek said, cool, we'll just find them in the alley out back. How are they even getting these chips?
The reporting points to gray market channels and intermediaries. Think of it like sanctioned wine. You can't sell it directly, but bottles still show up through third countries and resellers. Same with GPUs. Once they leave Nvidia's official pipeline, tracking every card is hard.
Right, because a rack of GPUs doesn't exactly beep at the border and yell, I'm illegal. But tech-wise, why do these specific Nvidia chips matter so much for DeepSeek?
For big models, training is all about compute density and memory bandwidth. The banned data center GPUs give you far more flops per watt and better interconnects than the downgraded versions still allowed in China. That means faster training, cheaper per token, and the ability to scale to really large models.
So if AI training is like cooking for a stadium, these banned GPUs are the industrial kitchen, and the legal ones are a sad Airbnb stove. You can still cook, but you're not serving a billion parameter buffet.
Exactly. And the policy angle is awkward. Export controls are meant to slow China's access to cutting-edge AI hardware. But if leading startups can still source banned chips indirectly, you get political heat without fully achieving the goal.
And meanwhile, developers just want to know, can I get GPU time without selling a kidney? What's the practical takeaway for people building AI products outside the megacorps?
3 things. 1. Expect ongoing GPU scarcity and regional price differences. Cloud costs in some regions will stay higher. 2. Regulators are likely to tighten reporting and tracking around high-end chips, so compliance will matter if you run your own clusters. And 3. It nudges more teams toward model as a service instead of self-hosted training.
So for normal people, the impact is AI tools might feel faster in some countries, slower or pricier in others, and politicians will keep arguing on TV about chips while you're just trying to get your slide deck summarized.
Pretty much. If you're a startup, hedge by designing your stack to be hardware agnostic, support multiple cloud providers, and consider smaller, efficient models that can run on mid-range GPUs, not just the latest banned ones.
And maybe don't build a business that only works if you find a secret warehouse full of black market GPUs. That's not a great OKR.
Let's pivot to AI agents. OpenAI, Anthropic, Block, and others are backing a new effort under the Linux Foundation to standardize agentic software. Things like the Model Context Protocol, AGENTS.md, and a spec called Goose.
Every time I hear goose as a spec name, I picture an angry bird honking at your API docs. What are these standards actually trying to do?
Big picture, They want AI agents from different companies to talk to tools and services in a consistent way. MCP, for example, defines how an AI agent discovers and calls external tools, kind of like USB for software capabilities. AGENTS.md is a convention for documenting what an agent can do. Goose focuses on how agents coordinate tasks.
So instead of every startup inventing its own weird plug, we get a standard socket for agents. Otherwise, your calendar bot only speaks startup A, while your CRM bot only speaks startup B, and they need couples therapy just to schedule a meeting.
Exactly. For developers, the promise is implement one open interface and any compliant agent can use your tool. For enterprises, it reduces lock-in. You can swap models or agent frameworks without rewriting every integration.
And for regular users, it's the difference between my AI can book flights, file expenses, and update Notion, versus it can only draft emails and then gets confused by PDFs.
This is under the Linux Foundation, which has decades of experience with open governance. That matters if you're betting your product roadmap on these standards lasting longer than a single vendor's mood swing.
So what's the move if you're building tools today? Wait for the committee to finish arguing over commas, or start implementing this stuff now?
If you're building anything an AI agent might use, calendars, CRMs, data warehouses, start tracking MCP and AGENTS.md now. Prototype adapters, but don't rip out your existing APIs yet. The upside is future-proof distribution. If agents become the new app store, you want to be plug-and-play on day one.
Being early here is like being in the first batch of apps on the iPhone. You might not know exactly how people will use agents, but you definitely want your icon on that home screen.
Next up, training data. A new open spec called Really Simple Licensing 1.0 (RSL) just became an official standard. It lets publishers declare, in machine-readable form, how AI crawlers can use their content and what compensation is required.
So it's like robots.txt grew up, went to law school, and came back with a rate card. Dear AI, you may read this article for 3 cents per 1,000 tokens. Love my paywall.
Pretty much. Robots.txt only says crawl or don't crawl. RSL adds licensing terms, allowed uses, required attribution, and payment rules. It's designed so AI companies can automatically see we can train on this if we pay X under Y license, instead of emailing lawyers for every site.
This is huge for creators. Until now, training data has basically been, if it's on the web, it's buffet time. Now websites can say, sure, but this buffet charges per plate.
For normal site owners, the practical step is simple. Your CMS or hosting platform will eventually offer RSL settings, just like it did for cookies and privacy banners. You'll choose presets like No AI Training, Training Allowed with Attribution, or Training Allowed with Paid License via Provider X.
And if you're a blogger or newsletter writer, this could become a new revenue stream. Imagine ticking a box that says, yes, train on my archive, but pay me through my platform. That's a lot nicer than waking up to find your style cloned for free.
Developers on the AI side need to adapt crawlers to respect RSL and track licenses. That means building accounting around training data, who you scraped, under what terms, and how much you owe. It's more overhead, but it reduces legal risk and makes enterprise customers more comfortable.
And if you're a mid-career professional with expertise, law, medicine, finance, whatever, this is a signal. The internet is moving from free content, free training to licensed knowledge. Packaging your content so it's licensable could literally turn your blog into a training data asset.
Let's talk Instagram. They're rolling out a Your Algorithm feature for Reels in the US. It shows you the topics Instagram thinks you care about and lets you say, show me more of this, less of that.
So Instagram is finally giving us a settings page for our brainwashing. Love that. How does it work under the hood?
Behind the scenes, their recommender system represents your interests as a set of topics learned by AI, clusters like home workouts, coding memes, budget travel. The new UI surfaces those clusters. You can upvote or downvote topics, and the model adjusts what it shows in Reels and likely later in Explore.
So if your reels are currently 90% dogs and 10% conspiracy-level home renovation hacks, you can at least admit that to yourself and nudge it towards, say, language learning or investing tips.
For everyday users, this is a rare bit of agency. If you're trying to protect focus, you can deliberately downrank topics that trigger doom scrolling and uprank ones aligned with your goals: fitness, career skills, or learning tools.
Pro tip, if you want to waste less time, don't just rely on willpower. Go into your algorithm and make it boring on purpose. Tell it more tax tips, fewer prank videos. You'll scroll less out of self-defense.
For creators, it changes discovery dynamics. Your content will be mapped to specific topics, and users can explicitly say they want more of those. That means picking clear niches, and metadata matters even more. Your hooks, captions, and visuals should align with the topics people actually select.
If you're posting everything from cooking to crypto to cat cosplay, the algorithm might not know where to file you. Niche down, so when someone taps more of this, you're the this.
Speaking of living rooms, let's talk projectors. A lot of reviewers are saying 2025 is the year projectors finally went mainstream, thanks to brighter laser light engines, smarter auto-calibration, and designs that are actually living room friendly.
Yeah, these aren't the dim, noisy boxes from your old office. We're talking modern laser projectors with serious brightness, decent speakers built in, and you can carry some of them outside by a handle like a sci-fi lunchbox for backyard movie night.
The magic trick is set up. You plop it down, hit calibrate, and in minutes it auto-sizes, auto-focuses, and keystone corrects to your wall or screen. No more spending an hour nudging it pixel by pixel like a cursed PowerPoint.
And for a mid-class household, the math is getting interesting. You can now get a projector that throws a 100-plus inch image for around the price of a nice big TV. If you love movies, sports, or group gaming, that extra size feels like a mini cinema.
There are trade-offs. Even bright projectors usually don't match the peak brightness of a good TV, so you'll want some light control, and a decent screen helps a lot. Setup is simpler than before, but still not as plug-and-play as unboxing a TV.
So if you mostly watch news with the lights blazing, stick with a TV. But if your joy is movie nights, sports parties, or gaming marathons, a projector now gives you that mini cinema feeling without needing a billionaire bunker.
Let's land the plane. Today, we covered banned Nvidia chips showing the limits of export controls, open standards that could make AI agents interoperable, RSL 1.0 turning web content into licensable training data, Instagram letting you tune your algorithm, and projectors transforming home entertainment.
If you zoom out, it's all the same theme: control, developers trying to control agents, creators trying to control their data, users trying to control feeds, and you trying to control what giant glowing rectangle dominates your wall.
Action steps. 1. If you publish anything online, start paying attention to RSL support in your platform and decide your AI licensing stance. 2. If you build tools, track the Linux Foundation's agent standards and plan adapters. 3. If you use Instagram, spend 5 minutes in your algorithm and align it with your goals.
And 4, if you're eyeing a big screen upgrade, actually list how you watch: daytime news and casual shows, or nighttime movies and sports. That answer should drive whether you buy a TV or join the projector cult.
If this episode helped you think clearer about AI and gadgets, Hit subscribe, leave a rating, and share it with someone who keeps asking you which AI tools or home theater gear to buy. New tech, same rule. Understand the incentives before you spend your money or your data.
Would you rather get paid for AI training on your content or get a perfectly tuned feed that never wastes your time? I'm not sure which fantasy world I want more. Until next time, keep your algorithms honest and your projectors calibrated.